Y.B.E. I'm Eric, and today I'm with Mr. Rodney, owner of iCARRE Foundation, and I wanted to ask you if you can introduce yourself a bit and tell us what do you do and why you did this, iCARRE Foundation as your business.
Wow, this is my second interview today. Let me see. iCARRE Foundation. Why do I do it?
What do you do?
I do it because of you. I was a former basketball and baseball coach, and I saw the need to help students like yourself to grow, and prosper, and develop. And I just didn't like the track that our youth were going, including my own son. So that's my first mentee, and I had a group of students like that were on my teams, and they all was just going this way. It was going a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And what happened is I decided to do something about it because at the age of 15 I stopped coaching. They went to high school. They got all these different. Some of them got scholarships to private schools, Loyola, St. Joe. I think my son went to St. Francis. Some went to Dunbar, some went to City. But in high school, they got just stuff started happening. Like my son got shot. And I had another one who was in shootouts throughout the city. There was another one that started getting involved in gangs. Another one that was locked up. And I was like, these were all good kids. I'm like, what happened? And so I took the blame. I started saying it was me. I felt like they needed me more when they were in high school than they did when they was ages 5 to 15. And so I shared that a lot with whoever's working with our students. This is the age group that when they really need you more. And I see it all the time as I was coaching when ages 5 to 10, parents came and they got involved and they got engaged and it was sold out. Students was coming to every practice. Parents were showing up, bringing everything that we needed as coaches, and then it got older, 12, 13, 14, parent wasn't showing up. Did you call him? He got a phone call him. No, that's when they need you more, parents, because you guys have all this energy and all it, and you're the smartest at this age in your life than anybody in the history of mankind. And you guys have so much information, but you don't have the maturity or the experience to know what to do with it. And that's our job. And a lot of times it hurts dealing with teenagers because you got a thought and you just automatically say it. And sometimes it don't always be the right thing, but like for my son, I gave him the power. I want you to say what's on your mind. I just had to teach him how to tactfully say it and how to properly think through. And that took almost 10 years till he was like 25 till he finally got it. So again, you would never hear me say anything to students that I don't believe. And my thing is, I always look at me. I always take responsibility. If it went wrong, it was my fault, right? Because there's always something I can do, whether it was something before or something after or something during, but it's always me. So I always try to take responsibility, good, bad, or indifferent. Trust me.
All right. So that was your mission for the business, or?
So the mission became for the business. The mission has changed. The mission was youth-centered, and because I wanted to be able to help more students, and what I saw was Pennsylvania Avenue. And when you look at Pennsylvania Avenue, you see, because I did some time in the streets. I did some not so good things in the streets, right? My son as well, right? And what I saw was the drug dealer and the drug user was the same age. And that average age was 23, 24, 25 years old. When I was in the streets, it was not like that. It was like you had the drug dealer was 20-something years old and the drug user was 50. And he had already destroyed his life and all. So it was like, and sometimes the dealer and the user is the same person now, right? Especially with the pills and the legalization of marijuana and all these different strains. And what I saw was, my wife is an addictions counselor, and she said, Rodney, we had discussions at night. She was like, they're getting younger and younger coming into, and I was like, I just gotta do something. So the mission changed, and part of the mission change is, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it was money, because I had an organization, but I wasn't getting any funding. We wasn't getting any grants. We got some grants, but no grant to make me quit my job. I couldn't quit my job. I wanted to do this full time. I had finally found what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. So my passion and my purpose hit. You multiply that times God, and you got a powerful human being. I'm not calling myself powerful, but I know I have power, right? And when I say that, it's like we couldn't get enough money to do the visions and these thoughts that God give me. Because I could get up, like this morning, I was up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I can't go back to sleep because my brain turned on like that. And it'd be like ideas and thoughts and things come through. So I wanted to be able to get some things more established, more sustainable. So we had to start looking at, as opposed to students, that's funding for you guys. But in the area that I was going in substance use prevention, you'll learn as you grow, there is not a lot of money in prevention. This is just my take on it. I'm not an expert, but I know a lot. And I say the reason why they don't do there's not a lot of money in prevention is because they can't measure it, right? And the way our government is, the way our society is, it has to be something that's measurable. They have to say, okay, like for instance, when I went to the United States Army, they did a pre-test. The pre-test said a workout. I had to do, I think I did like 30 push-ups in 2 minutes, did like 50 sit-ups in 2 minutes, and then I ran 2 miles in like 12 minutes. So those are the measurables. So just like you get graded every quarter, right? They do a pre-test when you first go to school. You're in the beginning, September, October, y'all take tests, right?
Yeah. I had to take the test.
That's the baseline. Then they want to measure your growth. So you can't measure something that you're trying to prevent sometimes, or they don't. I know they can because they have, but it's not a lot of money in it. So we live in a society where, they say it's broken, it's destroyed. Now let's try to fix it. And now all these billions of dollars come out of nowhere, and it's like, he's 50 years old. Let's help him get off of drugs, opposed to let's catch him when he's 17, and you can start seeing some of the traits that relate to an addict at 50, and say let's address that now and give him the information and education that he may need and the support so he know what direction he can go in to not go along that track. But that's the United States. So I'm grateful. So what happened is we started addressing adults, and we started with transition houses. Then we started doing addiction, and then we started with mental health. And those are things that fund a lot of what, because even still now, this is a summer camp. Yeah. And 9 years in, we still haven't gotten one single grant dollar bill for so I gotta pay people like Miss Mia and Miss Sade. Y'all have no idea. I had to chase somebody down the street like, yo, you got my check, because I gotta pay people, literally. But I love it. I wouldn't change it for nothing, man. I love what I do. It keeps me up at night. It wakes me up in the morning. I hope one day you guys find your path. That's the whole purpose of what we're doing. To help you find what it is your track is. Because I truly believe you'll see it in a lot of other ethnicities. Every Black American household there should be a business owner. First thing is we should own the house. Second thing is we should own a business. Because if COVID didn't show you anything, it shows you that the business does not care about you. They let all those people go. People had no money, no paycheck coming in, and the whole world was shut down. Yeah. Right? Some people still ain't went back to work. So when you got your own, you control your own. So we need some business. We need to find the next genius around here, because there's $1 million somewhere out here with y'all name on it. Trust me, $1 million is not a lie. I thought I would never be able to say that word continuously, but it continuously comes up in conversations. I remember when I used to just win $1,000. Now I don't mind talking money to y'all, because you can get in that conversation. You can't get into it. Trust me. 5 people making $50,000 a year. What's that?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
5 people making $5,000.
50.
50,000.
Yeah.
Let's just say
10,000 each.
yeah, 10,000.
No, 5 people
5 people
making
$50,000.
$50,000 a year.
Each of them are making 50,000.
Wait, what's the question?
I'm trying to get y'all to do the math.
What's the question?
What's the answer to 50 people? No, 5 people making $50,000.
200,000.
No, you close though.
2,500.
There we go, 250.
Oh.
Right? That's $250,000. You feel me? That's $250,000. And I got 30 people on payroll. So you do the math. Well, I'm broke as anyhow.
Well, could you give a little Could you give a little more background information on iCARRE Foundation? Like, for example, what was the struggles getting the buildings that you got? What was the struggles getting the people that you had working for you? Or
That's this question. What's the struggles? The struggle. Number one struggle is there is no struggle. I'm my struggle. I'm my biggest opponent. If I follow the script, because there is a script, right, in doing this. I had a good mentor. I told a homeboy of mine, we played basketball together. He was a former Harlem Globetrotter. I always give him props. A guy by the name of Chew Smith. He was doing this type of work, and I had went to an event at his office, and I was blown away by all the awards on the wall and pictures and stuff. And I was like, man, I want to do something like that. He was like, you sure? So 2 months later, he told me to call his assistant. I was pissed because I'm like, I'm your homeboy. Why are you telling me to call her? I don't know her. Right?
yeah,
But now I know because I do the same thing. Now when people want to get with me, I'm like, call Letitia or call Miss Kristen. Because I got 10,000 other things to do. But I got with him. He showed me how to do the application. I got with one of the most incredible people in my life. He's only a year or two older than me, but he's my mentor, he's my spiritual guide, he's my pastor, he's my business partner, and that's the guy by the name of Pastor Dante Duckett. And he showed me this, he showed me the way of how to run business. I had a way of thinking, but he knew how. And he showed me by when we built the church. We built this church from scratch. Not from the ground up. The building was there, but literally we built it. We put the walls up, paint, chairs, carpet, all that stuff, right?
yeah,
And just being a part of the leadership of the church showed me how to, I started looking at business in a different way, as opposed to when I'm working for somebody, I just wanted to go home. From the time I started my shift, all I was thinking about was when I'm getting up. When I started helping build the church, it was like I started seeing how the business worked, structuring meetings, writing. If you don't like to write, there's no need for you to even start business. Well, y'all got ChatGPT now and artificial intelligence, but you still got to write. Even you got to edit that too, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got to write. The first thing you got to write is a business plan, right?
Yeah.
And you can call me. I'm only going to charge you $100 to help you write your business plan.
Well, where do you see your business in 5 years?
Great question. So if you guys don't know, you probably heard from Miss Kristen. We are in East Africa. We're in Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya. I see that expanding to more countries in East Africa, or what I see us doing is cementing and planning and fully planning and making our foundation of becoming an international organization. I don't see anybody doing it. Nobody showed me how to do it. I just do it,
Yeah.
right? I make the mistakes. I learn from them, and I just do it. I'm not scared because I know I got God that's going. He just keep protecting me. He keep guiding me. He keep giving me everything I need. So I don't go in fear. I do. Don't trust me. No, I do have fear. I be scared, but I keep moving. I don't stay stuck in fear. because it can be paralyzing. And then you'll look up and it'll be 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, and you'll be like, I still never got nothing done. All them ideas and dreams that you had. So, I definitely think we're gonna become a major player in because in Africa, man, anything that you want to do, you can do, and it won't cost you nowhere near what it costs you here. And all the major resources there, and especially what I love about them is dedicated, hard-working, smart people who look like you and me. They even speak pretty good English. You start to learn some Swahili. It's just there it's there. Everybody's there but African Americans. You got the Chinese, you got the Arabs, you got your Europeans, of course, because they colonized it. And we need to go back because they need us. They need what we learned here in the Western Hemisphere to take back some of the business stuff that we learned on how to move. And then we're obligated to not take advantage of them like the Europeans did, everybody else has done. We're obligated to show them and help them build and build. So like with my team, I told them in 3 to 5 years, once we build iCARRE International the way we want to do it, now we're going to focus on what your dreams and your visions are, right? And that's true. So again, here in the U.S., I plan to become a Mid-Atlantic based company. So right now, I should be moving to Pennsylvania in the next couple years. No, I said years, in the next year. So it only makes sense for me to expand iCARRE Foundation to Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm expanding to Pennsylvania, I might as well go to Virginia, right?
Yeah.
If I'm gonna go to Virginia, I can't miss DC, right? If I'm gonna go miss DC, I might as well go to West Virginia, right? Mid-Atlantic. Anywhere within an hour drive, if I can get to there in an hour, I should be able to do business there. Right? I refuse to have y'all in y'all mind. If you don't get nothing from this interview, take that. Do not get stuck in this, and I'm not talking bad about Baltimore, but it can become a pit hole. Right? We have this thing that we call a 4-block radius. Every year we take kids to the Washington Wizards basketball game, 100 kids. Out of that 100, 80% of them never been to Washington, D.C. Ask me why. Why wouldn't you go to the whole world is in D.C. That's the whole that's the real melting pot. You got Europeans, you got everything you need to learn about, and you never been. It's a 45-minute ride on a good day. That's Columbia to Essex. Same thing. It's not the same distance, but it's the same time. You been to DC?
Yes. I just went there recently for the shoe car thing. The sneaker car thing.
The whole world is centered on Washington D.C. It's our capital. Everything you need is there, man. I love D.C. I used to work there for 5 years. That was my last job, working for the D.C. Metro system. But I always worked there. I'll tell you a quick answer, right? Look, I did security systems and home theaters for 20-something years, and cameras. And out of that, for 20 years, I was in DC, off and on, off and on. And the reason, it was just a no-brainer for me. One, I would always get a company truck, because I had my tools and all my equipment. So it wasn't a gas problem. I had a company gas card and a company vehicle. So it made sense to just get a job with a company that's based in the DC metropolitan area. The same job doing the same thing, I would get $5 an hour more. Then they got trains, you can go right down the street to the train, jump on the train and commute. Imagine that. Whatever you're making right now, you get $5 more, doing the same thing.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer to me. People be like, you get tired. No, you don't. You sleep on the train.
Yeah.
Or you get a buddy now, if you drive it now, he drive one day, he drive down, you drive up. You just gotta be willing to be different. And don't be scared. Fear will hurt you.
Well, I also have another question because you said that you was planning on going down to Virginia next year.
Mm-hmm.
What about Baltimore, like back here? What are you gonna like? How are you gonna make sure everything goes okay down here with your business?
Baltimore is already established. I've been here now. I've been doing this now. It's cemented. Um, like I can go to Africa for a month and everything's still gonna run the same way. So that's one of my goals. I wanna build a house on 5 acres in Africa, in East Africa. I wanna do the same thing in I don't know. I keep saying Belize, but it's somewhere in the Caribbean. And I just want to travel between the United States, Africa, and South America, Caribbean. Right? Do they teach y'all about that in school? Nope. They don't say nothing. They don't teach you nothing about Africa or South America. They make it seem like they don't even exist.
They only speak about it when they're talking about slavery or
Yeah.
racism.
They make it seem like they don't exist. So it's your choice. You have a choice to be ignorant. Because people choose to be ignorant, right? That's a choice. Right? You got everything right here in your hands. Do some research. There's a lot of amazing information. You'd be surprised. When we finish with this, I'm gonna show you guys a piece of property in a house that costs probably the same as this building right here. There's a second floor to this building. And it's like a mansion. $198,000 mansion. Marble floors. It's crazy. In Kenya with one acre. 1 acre. An acre is about the size of a soccer field. You can grow your own food. You ain't gotta eat this stuff that y'all was eating. I know y'all went down there and ate that nasty stuff down there in Lexington. Oh, y'all didn't go to Lexington Market?
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that bad.
They selling us death. Don't get me started. That's that farmer now. He's still that's my guy. He taught me a lot. And now I got my sister Mayasa tell Fed, they taught me a lot. That's the new war, food. Food is the new war.
Well,
Questions?
yeah. What advice do you have on somebody starting their own business?
Wow, what advice? Don't be scared. Don't be scared. You don't need any money. If money is your obstacle, then you're doing it wrong. There's 10 to 15 things that you can do before you have to spend $1 that will help you get the money, because people will see you tracking. They will see you. You can start a website for $12, right? Get a domain, get a website. You can create a Facebook page and an IG page for free, right? You can write, because you gotta have a brochure. You can create you can go online and create. You got Canva. You can create your brochure. You can create your business cards. You can do all that stuff that don't cost anything. But we always got a saying: hustle is sold separate. And if you ain't no hustler, you're not gonna make it.
I love that.
Yeah, your hustle is sold separately. It don't come with the package.
Well, we actually interview black-owned businesses, and with the black-owned businesses, we try to like promote them with this. We have no. Let me start over. We started a TikTok channel called Y.B.E, and we
Okay.
have a YouTube, and the series is called How Did B.E Do It. B.E stands for Black Achievement Entrepreneurs, and we interview black-owned businesses and try to promote them so they can get more known and stuff. Yeah, and we wanted to interview you today because you've been, you had this business for 9 years and you're planning on moving into different locations. So we wanted people to see you and see out check out your business, especially if they have like a drug addiction that they need to get rid of, and they are very much aware of it. But we like to interview black-owned businesses, and we also
Absolutely.
yeah.
So respect. I want you guys to know that just because you don't see me as much, I'm always available. Because I know it's certain things. I have an amazing team and staff, but I know sometimes maybe sometimes they might not have the answer that you want or need due to most times only just a lack of experience. But there's a reason. So We're not going to let this summer experience go to waste. We're going to build on this. This is just the start. I'm going to have to talk to Miss Mid to see how we're going to continue through we're going to give y'all a chance to get school started in September and October, get on your feet, get your good footing. Then in November, we're going to continue planning how do we continue to build on this momentum and grow what you guys are building, because I think this is an amazing platform that you guys are creating, especially with the idea that you guys have the power to create and build businesses with the social media platforms, and we just got to know how to do it. People think it's easy, but it's a strategy. It's now, that's what I'm learning. I know I took my social media as far as I could, so I had to hire somebody. And shout out to big Miss April Watts. She probably gonna beat me up for doing this interview without her, because she's also my brand ambassador and media manager. She'll sit in the corner like that and be like, "Don't say that. Don't show that on camera." All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Well, that's it for today. My name is Eric, and like I said, I interviewed Rodney, owner of iCARRE Foundation, and I hope y'all have a good day. Make sure y'all subscribe and follow.
So everybody can do the What's Up Y.B.E. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Only one person needs to do it. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. But everybody can do the What's Up Y.B.E. All right. 1, 2, 3. What's up, Y.B.E?